Headmaster Schaefer, faculty, honored graduates, family and friends, congratulations for your achievements. I am so delighted to be with you on this beautiful day. This is a momentous occasion for all of you, one of the most important days of your lives for the graduates, and I know what's running through your minds. You're thinking, how long is this senator going to talk? Yeah, I know. I can't remember my graduation speaker, so I know that. But on occasions like this, I'm reminded of Franklin Roosevelt's 3 rules for speeches. Be sincere, be brief, be seated. As we all appreciate, this has been a challenging year for the Kimball Union family. It began in September with the news of the tragic death of Stephen Sotloff, class of 2002. And when I called Headmaster Schaefer to extend my condolences, Mike told me something really remarkable. He said that Stephen had sent him emails from amidst the chaos in Libya and Syria and elsewhere where he was covering the news in the Middle East. And in particular, Stephen wrote that he was grateful that Kimball Union taught him to see the world through different lenses and gave him the fortitude to persevere in the often violent places where he was working as a journalist. Now, traditionally, it's the role of the commencement speaker to share his or her wisdom and inspiration. But what I want to share with you is wisdom that has been distilled across many thousands of years of humankind. And it's because I'm struck by how Stephen Sotloff lived his life very much in harmony with this wisdom. So let me explain. Life is often described as a great adventure. Kathy, you talked a little bit about that in your remarks. It turns out that coming of age, becoming a fully aware, mature human being, is described in much the same way in myths and folklore and religion in every culture all across the globe. Here is the universal human adventure and challenge. Each of us must leave the safety and comfort of home and youth. We must go out into the world and confront our fears, like the medieval knight entering the dark forest to slay the dragon. And of course, for each of us, the dragons are different. And in the course of this quest and test, we become a mature, fully realized human being. In his too short life, Stephen Sotloff lived this journey in a brave and beautiful fashion. On this campus, his passion was journalism. He became editor of the struggling student newspaper and transformed it. On graduation day, his achievement was recognized with the Lawton Award for Journalism. After graduation, Stephen left home and ventured into the larger world. He learned Arabic and reported from war zones in the Middle East, including Syria, where more than 60 journalists were killed in 2014. And he did this not because it was easy, and not because it paid well, and not because it was the road to fame. It was none of those things. He did it because he loved the ordinary people of the Arab Spring, and he wanted to tell the story of their suffering. The scholar Joseph Campbell spent his life studying myths and folklore from all across the world. He was asked to boil down into just a few words the wisdom from all his learning. And he said, I quote, "Oh, that's simple. The lesson is, follow your bliss, follow your heart, find out where it is, and don't be afraid to follow it." While reporting from the Middle East, Stephen Sotloff was beaten, was shot at, he was sprayed with pepper gas, he was finally kidnapped and killed. But he endured all of this in order to follow his heart, not so much to make a living, but to make a difference. Jordan Lesser, his best friend here at KUA, said this: "The most important thing to understand about Stephen is the courage and drive he had to chase his dreams and passions. So graduates, there you have it. The world's wisdom exemplified in the life of someone who just 13 years ago sat right where you're sitting. Now, it's been said that the most important day in your life is not the day you were born, but the day you discover why you were born. Stephen wrote something similar in a letter smuggled to his family while he was prisoner in Syria. He wrote, "Everyone has two lives. The second one begins when you realize you have only one." There's one more bit of wisdom that we can learn from Stephen. As you follow your heart, you're going to encounter setbacks, disappointments. So it's important to cultivate resilience. Don't let success go to your head, and don't let failure go to your heart. The former English teacher in me wants to point out that the root word for commencement is commence, to begin, to set forth. In the coming days and years, you're going to get plenty of advice about what to do with your life. For my generation, and many of you in the audience are my generation, the most famously misguided advice was given to Dustin Hoffman's character, see, I told you, in the 1967 movie, The Graduate. A businessman turns to Hoffman, the new graduate, and says, "I just want to say one word to you. Just one word. Plastics." These days, that businessman would probably turn to you and say, "Just two words. Hedge funds." Well, the wisdom of the world offers much better advice in 3 words. Follow your heart. That's how you will find a job that's not a job, but a joy. That's how you'll learn that we make a living not by what we get, but by what we give. And the good news is that your teachers, your friends, your families, your experience here at Kimball Union Academy have given you so much, including the knowledge and values to accomplish whatever you choose. Graduates, I congratulate each and every one of you. Go forth and let your heart take you on a great adventure. Congratulations.